think that it's going to further erode the remaining support for Zionism in the United States as well. I mean, the genocide in Gaza and now the genocide in Lebanon and the, the harm that's being caused to the world, and and the fact that bad reports to Netanyahu and all that. I think I just believe that the future is not with this right regime, and I think that the changes that we're seeing today is a lot of it is thanks to acts of the resistance and Iran. And for 47 years they've demonized Iran, and I've always supported Iran. I continue to support Iran. It's not even joking, but it's not at all what the West and Western media. But what I've seen in the last 2.5 years is that the attitudes towards Iran have changed a lot across the world because Iran and the Axis are the only ones who have been opposing the genocide. Everyone else has been complicit, meaning regimes. I don't mean people. In Italy, you had those huge protests. In Spain, and, there are people like yourself and Ben and everyone. There are heroes across the world. But I'm talking about political governments and major political entities like Hezbollah, like Hezbollah, Yemen, the resistance in Iraq, and so on. The attitude has been changing, and after the 12-day war, it changed even further. And during this war, I saw a clip of protesters in Brazil. I think they were communists, and they were saying that resist like the Iranians. And this very influential Brazilian communist said to a friend of mine, another Brazilian communist, the one who said this very thing. He said, if Iran wins the war, I'll become Shia. Now, it doesn't matter if he does one or not, but the point is that attitudes towards Iran, there's a sea change in attitudes towards it. And there's a sea change in attitudes towards Zionism. And I think Zionists don't fully comprehend what is taking place across the world.
I think you're right on that. There's certainly a shift that has happened. It's going to be interesting to see how all of this shakes out. It'll be interesting to see if, I really, at this point, I think that the U.S. will just kind of shrug its shoulders and walk away and say, okay, well, we didn't get anything from the negotiation, but we're also not going to keep fighting. We just want you to open up the strait. We'll leave you alone, stop attacking, and probably leave Israel to do whatever Israel wants to do. And then I think the question for the Iranians will be, perhaps then the negotiation would be, well, then we're going to keep the strait blocked until you stop funding and giving weapons to the Israelis and all of these other Gulf states. And then once you stop doing that, then we'll open up the strait. It seems like that might be the play overall, and the United States just kind of walk away from this whole thing and say, you know what, it's not our men, it's not our fight, the Middle East, which is what many Americans want. Right? A lot of Americans are like, not our fight, not our part of the world. Why are we even there? So we'll see how this all should go down.
Former Russian president, Medvedev, the former Russian, one of the administrative foremost is Iran's nuclear weapons. And I've been saying this for years. I've been saying that if there's a war against Iran, then this is exactly what will happen. But in the West, they try to down Saeed, and that's very Orientalist. Like they say, well, all we have to do is cut off the head and the regime, as they love to call it, because they a slur, and it'll collapse. It didn't collapse. They marched. Ayatollah Khamenei was martyred, and the Islamic Republic didn't collapse. We're the West. We're the United States. And for 40 days, it was the United States. So, a lot of these calculations we, the West, Zionists, the economy, are based upon Orientalist stereotypes. And Iran is the one country that has broken those stereotypes.
Professor Morandi, thank you so much for being here and giving us the insight and knowledge that you have about these ongoing peace talks. I suppose Trump announced today that there might be more in the next couple of days in Pakistan. So maybe maybe you'll be getting back on another plane and heading to Pakistan in the next couple of days, join in on those peace talks. I mean, um, you know, if, well, I mean, we'll see how this all shakes out. This is one of those that, you know, I mean, this could go any which way, all, you know, any which way, and it really is kind of up to the United States. Obviously, we know what Israel wants, so it's up to the United States to make a decision on whether or not the United States is going to speak with Israel, or turn and say, never mind, we don't want to be a part of this, and you know, your war, your fight, you do what you do. We're not involved at all. And that seems to be what much of the world is starting to do, especially in Europe, and maybe the United States will actually follow suit on that, which is what the majority of the world wants. Even Asia is starting to turn on Israel and say things, and they usually don't say anything. And suddenly now you've got the South Korean president, you know, coming out being like, you guys don't even reflect on yourselves on how terrible you are, you know, to the Israelis. So it's definitely shifting. I mean, this has definitely shifted, you know, the war of narrative, the mental war. I think Iran has certainly won, and we'll just see how this works out when it actually comes to the kinetic war. But again, thank you so much for being here and giving us your insight. Stay safe. You know, I think it is atrocious that Twitter is allowed, or Elon Musk has allowed the bounty to stay up against you, $1 million bounty. People asking for your kidnapping. That is absolutely insane to me that wasn't immediately removed and consider. And not only that, but those people should have been investigated by wherever they are in the world. Um, but stay safe, I guess, is you know, I'm happy to see you and that you're alive and you're well, and I hope that you stay that way. And I mean that.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure being on the show, and I hope your viewers are organizing protests and are being more active about the ongoing genocide in Lebanon. This, all of this has to stop, and it's only the West. It's only people power that can stop it, because the regime is carrying out this genocide with the support of the West. So hopefully people across the world will again rise up and regain the momentum that we saw last year and put an end to these massacres that we're seeing these days. So thank you very much, Pat.
Thanks for watching this clip from the full Kim Iverson show, which you can catch belly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Khloe Kardashian is frustrated. I talking about her. She said, "I married her my older woman, they had trouble, they had a problem, and already I think was she married her. Um, now I remember people when people found out my older was married, Khloe Kardashian, like why is he doing this? I remember Ed Lover in the video. Ed Lover really called, "Come on tonight," and he clowned Lamar Odom for marrying Khloe Kardashian. They did. I vividly remember that. Nobody was like, "Oh, Lamar Odom is marrying her. She marrying that." Nobody said that. And to get famous, everybody knew who Lamar Odom was. People who didn't watch basketball knew who he was. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Kardashians was doing their thing too, but how the Kardashians stayed alive after the sex scandal with him was they had famous boyfriends and husbands. That's how y'all stayed in the pocket. Because nobody knew who Kim was until the Ray J tape. Y'all put that out there on purpose. That's how I got in the public eye so damn well. And nobody gave a damn about Ray J, and nobody knew who Kim Kardashian was. So the MO after that was married, famous, athletes have these boyfriends who are, in the public eye. I beg to differ. I think marry him. Stay out.
I have an update on the death of model and influencer Ashley Robinson. She went by Ashley Janae online. I obtained video of a news conference today in Tanzania in which officials say they are holding Joe McCann for questioning and they are holding his passport while police wait for the postmortem. We have been unable to reach Joe McCann. Now, yesterday I reported on this story. You may recall Robinson was on vacation of a lifetime in Zanzibar, an island off the coast of Tanzania in Africa. She was there to celebrate her 31st birthday with her boyfriend of about a year and a half, according to the family. Joe McCann proposed to her on that trip, but last week something went terribly wrong. Police say Robinson was found unconscious in her villa and was rushed to the hospital, where she was later pronounced dead. Now, her parents received a call from McCann saying that something had happened, but they say it was a resort that told them about the death of their child. Again, the new information today, officials say they are holding Joe McCann for questioning and are holding his passport. I have an update on the death of model and influencer Ashley Robinson. She went by Ashley Janae online. I obtained video of a news conference today in Tanzania in which officials say they are holding Joe McCann for questioning and they are holding his passport while police wait for the postmortem. He has been unable to reach. Get a new body by May 1st.
What was the moment that you noticed everything was an illusion?
Yeah, so I met my wife 10 years ago, and at first I didn't want to and I spent it all on skydiving. I was unemployed. I didn't have a house. I was actually working for rent, and just by accident, I met my wife. Where'd you live? I was helping out a college program, and she was also part of the team. And she saw something in me, and so she wanted to date me. So she took the initiative, and I was kind of different. But we went out a few times, and we just connected. We just clicked, and we were able to be intimate with each other. And so one thing led to another, and then we were married. We had our first child. Now we have three kids. And throughout this time, I was afraid that this was just an illusion, that this was not real, that she'll eventually wake up and say, "Oh my God, why am I dating an unemployed, middle-aged man who might be gay? Um, why am I doing that?" But she never left me, and we've been together ever since. And it feels as though we're just meant to be together. It was meant. I feel as though we're like soulmates. Like we're two sparks drifting in the universe. We want to find each other, and so we were able to somehow navigate the messiness of this world, navigate the chaos, and somehow find each other. Because we were looking for each other all this time. Like that's literally how I feel about her. Um, and she shaped my life. She transformed my life, and she was able to bring structure and purpose and meaning to my life when none existed before. Before I was like, I just want to succeed. I don't know why I want to succeed, but I want to succeed. Now it's like I don't need to succeed. Now I just need to take care of my family. Now I just need to be a good role model to my kids. Now I just need to spend as much time as possible with my family and enjoy my time here with my family. And just having that spirit, just by letting go, just by seeing the world as an illusion, seeing that success means nothing. It's family that matters. Strangely enough, I became much more creative. I wrote a book that was published in China. I wrote a series of science fiction novels. It was just a time of tremendous creative output. And I started to teach. And when I teach, I was not interested in just teaching English. I wanted to be a role model for my kids. I wanted to be like able to teach my kids. And so I started to teach great books. Homer, Dante, Plato, Immanuel Kant. And I had very little exposure to a lot of these books. And so I set myself on learning them as much as possible. And at first, it was kind of okay because you can always watch YouTube videos and just imitate them. These professors who teach Plato and Homer. And then I got into Dante. And for 6 months, I was watching these YouTube videos about Dante, Divine Comedy. I had no idea what they were saying. I was so confused. I was reading the Divine Comedy like every single day because I really wanted to master it, and I had no idea what I was reading. I was just so lost. I was so frustrated. And so I went to sleep one day, and I woke up, and I felt as though Dante had spoken to me. And his word was love. Focus on love. That's what Divine Comedy is about. Love. And so I started to reread it again, and then things started to unpack themselves, slowly reveal themselves before me. And it wasn't at once, but it was like as though, oh, I just saw gray. Now I'm able to see color slowly, piece by piece. And then I recognized something, which is the universe is the mind. The universe is alive. The universe is conscious. If you have the faith, you have the love in your heart, it will speak back to you. It will guide you. It will lead you to to the light. But first, you have to open yourself to love. Love is the great secret of the universe. What was the moment that you noticed everything was just the jealousy? This is why everybody hates black people. Regardless of what our circumstances are, what we endure, we are experiencing joy. We gonna have a good time regardless. People don't look like they're having a good
find a way to turn what y'all deem as weaknesses into strengths. We turn tragedies into triumph, and we've done it time and time again. And we're going to continue to do it. This is the jealousy. This is why everybody hates black people. Regardless of what our circumstances are, what we endure, or experiencing joy, we're going to have a good time regardless. People don't look like they're having a good time. And you know why? It's a fallacy. They understand it's a fallacy. It's white supremacy. It's a fallacy. You're saying I'm supreme, I don't feel it. You're saying I'm supreme, and I don't see it. If you're so supreme, why is there a need to always push others down, to kick others down? Why? If I'm supreme, I really actually don't concern myself with people that are inferior to me. Trading in that culture for supremacy, to be a part of that white team. Now you got no legs to stand on. This thing doesn't harm us. The thing is, we're resilient. We're going to use it to our advantage. We're going to find a way to turn what y'all deem as weaknesses into strengths. We turn tragedies into triumph, and we've done it time and time again. And we're going to continue to do it. This is the jealousy. This is one of the, you know, we are breaking the bodies, the minds, children of Gaza. We are starving children of Gaza. Because if we don't do something about it, we are complicit in what is happening before our very eyes. We are complicit. We are causing this. You, us, and everyone who does nothing about it. This just has to stop. Any right thinking human being will stand up and say this just must stop. As a doctor, as a physician, as someone watching more than 1,000 children without limbs, thousands of children with spinal cord injuries or severe head injuries from which they'll never recover, thousands and thousands of children with severe psychological distress that they may never recover from. And as a physician, I'm angry. I'm angry with myself that I'm not doing enough. I'm angry with everyone here. I'm angry with you. I'm angry with the world. This is an abomination. We are breaking the bodies, the minds, the children of Gaza. We are starving children of Gaza. We are breaking the bodies, the minds, the children of Gaza. We are starving children of Gaza. Because if we don't do something about it, we are complicit in what is happening before our very eyes. We are complicit. We are causing this. You, us, and everyone who does nothing about it. This just has to stop. Any right thinking human being stand up and say this just must stop. As a doctor, as a physician, as someone watching more than 1,000 children without limbs, thousands of children with spinal cord injuries or severe head injuries from which they'll never recover, thousands and thousands of children with severe psychological distress that they may never recover from. And as a physician, I'm angry. I'm angry with myself that I'm not doing enough. I'm angry with everyone here. I'm angry with you. I'm angry with the world. This is an abomination. We are breaking.
Women over 170 pounds need to try this. I lost 15 pounds in 1 month.
a chair, contract the abdomen as shown in the video. Do 3 series of 10 to 15 repetitions twice a week. You will feel your whole body on fire. Comment complete body if you want.
These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
Back in the 1960s, Malcolm X was already calling out something most people are still debating today. He believed that real leaders in the black community weren't the ones being pushed into the spotlight. Instead, it was entertainers, singers, comedians, celebrities. According to Malcolm X, these figures were being promoted as leaders, not because they spoke truth, but because they were more controllable and less likely to challenge the system.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders, all leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer, or a trumpet. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up.
I admire the man, and I think it's wonderful that he spoke for us. But I don't think ever with America that nonviolence is something that works. It again, I say, it is that he died with violence. So what? I mean, and blacks music are in the same shape they were then. So what did it prove? I admire the man, and I think it's wonderful that he spoke for us. But I don't think ever with America that nonviolence is something that works. Again, I say, it is that he died with violence. So what? I mean,
Here's my collarbone, I go just below it here. K27, great point for acid reflux with long, deep breathing.
We are noticing a trend here, and it's actually worrying, and we can't continue to ignore it. Yes, we've been saying this for years. Stick with your own people. Stick with your own people. Are our men perfect? No. We all have hang-ups with stuff that we need to work on, yes. But this trend, yeah, this has been going on for years. 400 years back, actually, and it's only continuously getting worse as the days go by. So, yes, stick with your own people. A lot of y'all black women love to go after the men saying, oh, why can't y'all date black woman, blah, blah, blah. Well, now we're getting on y'all. Congrats, it's your turn. And also, please stop inviting them to the cookouts, because let's be real, the only place that they invite y'all is camping or sleepovers, and y'all can only pray if y'all make it home. Leave them folk alone. We are noticing a trend here, and it's actually worrying, and we can't continue to ignore it. Yes, we've been saying this for years. Stick with your own people. Stick with your own people. Are our men perfect? No. We all have hang-ups with stuff that we need to work on, yes. But this trend, yeah, this has been going on for years. 400 years back, actually, and it's only continuously getting worse as the days go by. So, yes, stick with your own people. A lot of y'all black women love to go after the men saying, oh, why can't y'all date black woman, blah, blah, blah. Well, now we're getting on y'all. Congrats, it's your turn. And also, please stop inviting them to the cookouts, because let's be real, the only place that they invite y'all is camping or sleepovers, and y'all can only pray if y'all make it home.
We are in the beginning, the world that never existed. The world that we knew 6 weeks ago is gone. Nothing can stop it. The ceasefire that never was, and the peace negotiations that never were in Pakistan between the United States and Iran ended on the first day of negotiations. And the reason for that is, as long as the United States is tied at the hip with Israel, we will never know peace. The Zionist state of Israel is a system of hatred, death, and conflict at its very core. Everything it touches quickly corrupts and dies. We are in the beginning, the world that never existed. The world that we knew 6 weeks ago is gone. Nothing can stop it. The ceasefire that never was, and the peace negotiations that never were in Pakistan between the United States and Iran ended on the first day as long as the United States is
Finally, Professor Zhang, I couldn't let you go without mentioning an encounter you had with Mehdi Hassan, who's a regular on Census, in which he said you're misleading people because you're not actually a professor, and secondly, he called you China's useful idiot. Here is your chance to respond to these two charges. What would you like to say?
First of all, he's absolutely right. I'm not a professor. I am not a credentialed professor. I'm a high school teacher with a pretty popular YouTube following, and it's the internet that's called me professor. In China, it's a kind of respect to call someone a professor, regardless of his credentials. So it's entirely up to you whether or not to call me a professor. And the second point that I'm a useful idiot. Look, it is entirely possible that an algorithm is pumping me up because I'm saying certain things that align with the interests of certain nation states. I don't believe that. My rise in the internet has been meteoric. It's surprised me, but I'm committed to education. I'm committed to free debate. I'm committed to free discussion. I am very happy to engage with people on both the left and the right, and I think like the path forward is open and free debate.
Yeah, I completely agree. And finally, Professor Zhang,
you will lose muscle in your legs if you don't exercise. Do 10 of this to reactivate your core muscles, and 10 of this to reactivate your hamstrings. And aim for 10 of these per leg to reactivate your side glutes and your hips. 10 here in Gaza, over 100 children died of starvation.
And you're all neighbors, so you all know each other.
No, I've never met her in my life.
Really? So was it your neighborhood or hers?
I've been there 6 years. I don't know how long she's been.
How long have you been there? I'm about 60 years old. But you never met each other.
No.
What kind of dog do you have?
He's a baby pit bull.
And on August 14th, were you walking the pit bull?
Yes.
Was he on leash or off?
Off.
Bad news for you. Why was he off leash?
He was off leash because he usually uses the bathroom better. He'll go quicker.
Who cares?
He's not on the.
Who cares?
And no one was
Who
around.
cares? You have to anticipate people are going to come outside. You don't walk your dog off the leash. And you're all neighbors.
I didn't want to talk about communism because I know communism is not going to become reality in our lifetime, not even in China. Communism is not about political system or society form. Communism requires all human beings have a very high spiritual status. Such like, in communism society, everyone has everything they need. No one need to work to survive. Everyone just do everything they want to do. If they want to do work, they can do the job. They want enjoy to do it, you know. And no one need to exploit others. No one need to be dominated by others. No one offering anything because everyone has everything already. But in our human society, the reality is some people are just evil. They want to dominate others. They want to destroy others. They want to control others. Someone wants to be abused. Someone wants to abuse others. Right? That's the reality in human society. As long as our human beings have these evil people exist, communism will never become true. And for the Western people who call me communist, try to insult me, thank you. Communist is not insulting word to me. That's a quite compliment to me, actually. And you guys really know nothing about communism. You just believe all the lies from capitalism. Okay? If you don't open your mouth, I didn't even know you are so stupid. I didn't want to talk about
Above 120 IQ, you stop relating to normal people.
You see solutions while others are still stuck on them.
This is all denied. And the worst thing you can do, if you're talking about it on an individual level, if you anthropomorphize the nation, as I'm doing, the worst thing you can do to someone who has a split personality is to confront them about their condition, because they've built their whole way of coping in the world, their whole way of functioning in the world and the worst thing you can do, if you're talking about it on an individual level, if you anthropomorphize a nation, as I'm doing, the worst thing you can do to someone who has a split personality is to confront them with about their condition, because they've built their whole way of coping in the world, their whole way of functioning in the world, is based on these two elements of their identity never meeting, never being reconciled, always being compartmentalized. And what needs to happen is for it to be confronted. It needs to be reconciled. It needs to be dealt with. This is all denied.
Trump did launch the attack against Iran, but he tried to create the narrative that this is happening not because this is what he wants, but because he's forced to do so by the globalists, by the deep state, by the American empire. He himself is a person who only aspires for world peace. But these warmongers, these neocons within his administration, who are embedded in these cities and who have tentacles all around the world, they're undermining him, forcing him to act in Iran. But we'll fight for the American people, we'll fight for world peace, and Trump.
My wife is 55 and looks better than ever. All it took.
Well, hold on, you let me tell you this. Most of you and your friend them, only not care what people think. Because they only care what people think. Only operate and tolerate the way only.
Don't cry when your AI twin reflects the truth.
Aware of in my traveling recently through Africa, the Middle East. Every country that you go to, usually the degree of progress can never be separated from the woman. If you're in a country that's progressive, the woman is progressive. If you're in a country that reflects the consciousness toward the importance of education, it's because the woman is aware of the importance of education. But in every backward country, you'll find the women are backward. And in every country where education is not stressed, it's because the women don't have education. But one of the things I became thoroughly convinced of in my recent travels is the importance of giving freedom to the woman, giving her education, and giving her the incentive to get out there and put that same spirit and understanding into children. And I frankly am proud of the contributions that our women have made in the struggle for freedom. And I'm one person who's for giving them all of the leeway possible because they've made a greater contribution than many of us men. And one of the best ways that they can help is to encourage the man, try and inspire him to be more militant and turn him away from being non-violent, passive, and meek and Uncle Tommy.
Tai walking for seniors is now free. If you're trying to lose weight, you've probably tried different methods. And while many
make him aware that the black woman wants to see her man be a man instead of around here using religion as an excuse to be a coward and some of the things he's been reflecting here lately.
Freedom by any means. That's the slogan of Malcolm X. So he knew that in America, the conditions in the vast majority, 22 million black people, very close to the conditions of 11 million Africans under the fascist South African regime.
Aware of in my travels recently.
The masters of war pretend not to know that it takes only a moment to destroy. It's often, unlikely, it's often not enough to rebuild. They turn a blind eye to the fact that billions of dollars are spent on killing, on devastation, that the resources needed for healing, education, and restoration nowhere to be found. Jesus told us, blessed are the peacemakers. But woe to those who manipulate religion in the
very name of God for their own military, economic, or political gain, dragged that which is sacred into darkness and filth. We must make a decisive change of course, a true conversion that will lead us in the opposite direction onto a sustainable path rich in human fraternity. The world is being ravaged by a handful of tyrants. It is held together by a multitude of supportive brothers and sisters.
I'm used to doing things the hard way. Try something easier, Ross. Get cheaper off-peak energy. It's available at different times. Just get a smart meter and use a flexible scheme or tariff. Like now.
The masters of war pretend not to.
À mon avis, le grand et le petit, s'ils vont décider, ils vont s'avancer pour arrêter la guerre. Quand même la guerre, il n'y a pas ça. C'est pourquoi ils vont faire la guerre? Pour quelle raison? Et surtout après, on a fait cette grande guerre en Europe. Après cette comment on a oublié, comment on va créer encore la guerre? Pour quelle raison? Qui va pourquoi ils vont faire la guerre? Pour quelle raison? Et surtout après, on a fait cette grande guerre en Europe. Après comment on a oublié, comment on va créer encore la guerre? Pour quelle raison? Qui va arranger ça? Est-ce que c'est grand? À mon avis, le grand et le petit, s'ils vont décider, ils vont s'avancer pour arrêter la guerre. Quand même la guerre, il n'y a pas ça. C'est pourquoi ils vont faire la guerre?
Under Trump, we want to have no more wars, no more wars, no more wars. Member of the president, I am. They said he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. He's going to start a war. I said, no, no, no. My rhetoric is going to keep us out of wars, and that's what happened. These endless wars that we've been in have gotten us out of. So these war hawks, if you wanted to draft your kids, die in wars. They will never fight themselves. Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. 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 Under Trump, we will have no more wars, no more wars, no more wars. Member of the president, I am peace. They said he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. He's going to start a war. I said, no, no, no. My rhetoric is going to keep us out of wars, and that's what happened. These endless wars that we've been in have gotten us out of so many. These war hawks, they want to draft your kids to die in wars. They will never fight themselves. Our
that they need to destroy is Iran in order to keep the Judaic apart. ISIS, guys, ISIS is, these fanatical Muslims, and they hate Israel, but they never attacked Israel. Okay? They've never ever in their history attacked Israel. That's why they're probably controlled by Mossad. Okay? And these guys go around and destroy the entire Middle East. But they never attacked Israel. Okay? It's really strange how this happened. Okay? And all this war on terror, what it does is it creates all these millions of migrants to Europe, which is destabilizing European society. And these societies, Libya was once a middle class, prosperous society, and now you have these slave markets. You got these millions of Africans who are sort of slaves in Libya. It is in anarchy now. You know what happened? It is all part of this grand plan. Now what happened?
So like 3 minutes about hypnosis.
Concept of Make America Great Again did not start with Donald Trump. It started with Ronald Reagan, and it happened right after the Civil Rights Movement. There was a very strong, visceral response by white people after the Civil Rights Movement, after the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Fair Housing Act of 1959, the Economic Opportunity Act of 1965. These were all efforts that were put in place on a federal level to say, okay, fine, because that's also when we saw the split between the Democratic and Republican parties. If the split is literally just, we was this and now we did, and that is not the same as we are for black people. The Democratic Party is not for black people, nor is the Republican Party. The concept of Make America Great Again.
Before we get started, bitch, trigger warning. Y'all already know I
Just got this posted through the door. This is part 1 of trying to help Denny.
it's trigger warning. Yeah. I already know I play with a lot of motherfucking things that sure ain't fucking one. I can spell a lot of motherfucking people. But pastors and church folks ain't gonna never be it. Now, with that being said, have y'all ever heard of Pastor Anthony Hopkins from Jackson, Alabama? If you have or have not heard of this sick ass motherfucker, you know we about to talk about it. We ain't worried about no background. We get straight to the fucking point. Anthony Hopkins met Arlita, okay? Anthony got 5 children. Arlita got 2 little girls. They date for a little while. They get married. In 2001, Anthony decided he wanted to become a certified man of God, so he go ahead and get some type of license to be an evangelist and decide he's going to start traveling to preach the word of God. Now, his children and his wife travel with him. They was all talented in some type of way. They played instruments, they sung, something of that nature, but they was his wife. Bitch, what I'm about to say is very motherfucking disturbing. Why the fuck one day Arlita walked in a motherfucking bathroom at the church, bitch, and caught Anthony assaulting her oldest daughter? Lord, I know thou shalt not judge, but I know you're going to make sure he tap dancing hell with me. I'm sorry, back to the story. Now, Anthony tell Arlita, it ain't what you think, it ain't what it looks like. Well, what the fuck? Looks like jail time to me. Or death. Dick your poison. Nevertheless, as hard as it is for me to tell y'all, Arlita stayed. And they agreed that this shit wasn't going to happen no more. Somebody got to help it. Because you know motherfucking well, that shit ain't mean shit to a motherfucking pedophile. That was just a get out of jail free code. November 2004, she walked in her daughter's bedroom and caught him on top punching her old daughter. Finally, Arlita said, you gotta get the fuck up out of here. This down bad, sick ass man left out the motherfucking house, went to the daughter's bedroom window, knocked on the motherfucking window, told the daughter to let him in the motherfucking house. Arlita heard him in the motherfucking daughter room and said, you need to get the fuck out my house. Remember, he is a preacher. He is a traveling man of God, preaching the word of the Lord. And he is punching on his stepdaughter. Do y'all hear what the fuck I'm saying? These is the type of preachers that is leading y'all. I'm going to take my chances on praying and reading my word. Back to the story. So when Arlita heard him again and tried to put him out the house the second time, child, he attacked the first lady. Then he unalived her. Kept her in the house that night. Disturbing details. Tell me why the next motherfucking day this man took that little girl to the motherfucking church so she could help him dig a motherfucking grave for her motherfucking mama, and they buried the motherfucking mama in the back of the motherfucking church, bitch. But hold on, bitch, it get worse. A few days motherfucking later, this motherfucking man told this motherfucking little girl, the Lord said that she needs to be close to me. So you need to go and dig her body up. He took the motherfucking body back to the motherfucking house and dumped her into the motherfucking freezer, bitch. I did and she died during childbirth. Now the bitch turned traumatized. I just want to know where was her mama, her daddy, cousins, aunties, uncles, best friends, some fucking body. Why ain't nobody know this motherfucking woman was missing for 3 fucking years? Nevertheless, 3 years later, the daughter is 19 now, and now she interested in dating little boys or whatever, and that's causing some tension between her and her stepdad. Allegedly, she ran away and went to the motherfucking neighbor's house. She told him that she was motherfucking pregnant for her motherfucking stepdad. If you still watching this video, type big sit in the comment section. The neighbor was like, we can go to the motherfucking police. And the girl was like, I can't go to the motherfucking police because that's gonna be dishonoring God and my stepdad. This whole child fucked up. So why the fuck the neighbor convinced the little girl to go to her church and go and confess this to her motherfucking pastor? Because the pastor said she was motherfucking lying. The pastor told this little girl, you trying to sabotage your stepdad's reputation. Big. The neighbor went deep fuck off on the motherfucking pastor and then took the little girl to the motherfucking police. The police told her, bitch, you lying. You trying to fuck up your dad's reputation. And she seen the fucking police ain't fucking believe her. She told them, bitch, he killed my mama. Finally, Alabama sent some fucking police out to their motherfucking house where they found Arlene body stuffed up in that motherfucking tree. Now, Anthony was arrested at Inspirational Tabernacle Church of God in Christ in Jackson, Alabama, where he stood in the pulpit giving a motherfucking sermon about forgiveness and not judging others. He was sentenced to 51 years in jail, and here are his charges. Of course, the unaliving, him assaulting his stepdaughter, sodomy, incest, and additional abuse charges.
If you get into this position and sink as low as you can, then rise up as high as your body allows. You activate the deep hip rotators, the muscles that keep the femur centered in the hip socket. At the same time, the glutes and adductors fire to stabilize the movement, while the hip flexors on the extended leg stretch deeply as the hip opens. If you get into this position and sink as low as you can, then rise up as high as your body allows. You activate the deep hip rotators, the muscles that keep the femur centered in the hip socket. All your senses are connected to every thought that you have.
over. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Mm-hmm. 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 Cool, cool. What did you do there, Cleve? What are you doing, Papa? What, Papa? poo poo. Hmm? What are you doing, little poo? Good boy. Good boy, Winnie Pooh Pooh. You good boy. Good, Winnie Pooh Pooh. You good boy, Winnie Pooh. You good boy. You good boy, Winnie Pooh Pooh. Good boy, Winnie Pooh. You good boy. Good boy. Good boy. You good boy, little pup. You good boy, little pup. You good boy. Mm-hmm. Very good pup. Very good boy, little pup. You good boy. You good boy, little pup. Mm-hmm. You good boy. Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh, you went to the little pup. Hercules. What are you doing, Bubba? Hercules. Good boy. What's this? What's this, Steve? You good boy. Ooh, Hercules. Good boy. Good boy, my purple. Good boy. Are you Hercules? What's this, Hercules? Oh, Hercules. Good boy, Hercules. you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Hercules, come here. Come on, Hercules. Mm-hmm. Come on, Papa. Hercules, come on. Come on, Papa. Boy. Good boy, Hercules. Mm-hmm. You, ow, Hercules. Ow. Hercules. Hercules. Papa. What's this, Hercules? Hercules, what's this? Come on, Papa. Hercules. Come on, Papa. Come on. Hercules, easy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hercules. Come on, Papa. Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. Oh, wow. Pretty cool. Yeah, Papa. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Very cool. Uh-uh. No, Winston. Oh, Winston. Oh, Winnie Pooh. No, Winston. Hey, why is it? You good boy, you good boy. You good boy, Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Really, really poo-poo. Good boy. You good boy. Good boy, you poo-poo. Good boy. You good boy. Hmm? You good boy. Hmm? Hercules. What are you doing, Bubba? Hercules, what's this? Hercules, what's this, Bubba? Mm-hmm. Come on, Bubba. Hey, Bubba. Hercules, come here. Hercules, what's this, Bubba? Oh, Bubba. Hercules. You good boy. You good boy. You good boy. You good boy. And you good boy, Hercules. You good boy. Good boy. you doing, Leslie? What are you doing, Papa? Okay, what are you doing, Papa?